Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the latest from the political world. No surprise there. And an irritated golf editor. Ray Hagar has the rundown.
Thanks, Sam. Our first guest is Erin Neff, the Las Vegas Review-Journal's political reporter. And next we have Vic Williams. He's the editor of Fairways and Greens magazine. He's upset with the support or lack of support the Reno community has given the Reno Tahoe Golf Open.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Larry Matheis, Marlene, Lockard, and Alfredo Alonso. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
High-tech companies demand perfect world amenities. They require clean, reliable power, state-of-the-art fiber optic communications, and clean water sources. In a perfect world, companies would have immediate access to rail and interstate freeways. There would be 4-lane expressways that shorten shipping times and provide convenient commute routes for valued employees. Well, the future is now, and it's here. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
Nevada Newsmakers is sponsored in part by the Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers. Joining us by phone, Erin Neff, chief political reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We've missed her. She's back, and we welcome you back, Erin.
Well, thank you, Sam. It's wonderful to be with you again.
Sam, Erin, good to hear your voice again.
Okay, let's start out, Erin. You know, I remember the day when, after the session was over, we all kind of relaxed in the reporting business, and we didn't, we'd cover a lot of different things, and newspapers got a little bit thinner, and TV stations ran a few more feature stories because there wasn't that much political news. This thing has never ended. I mean, the governor's race started before the session, continued through the session, and have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, it's true in politics that they say a political reporter in an even number of years has the elections to deal with, and in odd number of years the legislature, but it's a short-term gig, and then it all goes away and you're bored for several months. Not this time, my friends. The governor's race was certainly cutthroat during the legislative session, during the battles between Senate Minority Leader Dina Titus and Assembly Speaker Richard Perkins. That has trickled throughout the summer months, and we have quite a bit of testiness now with the Republicans and the potential independent candidacy of University System Chancellor Jim Rogers.
Well, Erin, recently there was reports of Speaker Richard Perkins, a Democratic contender for governor, and Senator Bill Raggio getting a huge discount from Cox Communications Group for an 11-day cruise in the Baltic. Do you think that this issue is going to haunt Speaker Perkins if and when he runs for governor?
Well, first and foremost, I think he is going to run. And I do think this issue can be used against him. The dynamic here isn't whether he took the cruise, and it isn't whether he paid a discount. It's, is it proper? Does it smell right? And the answer to both of those is apparently no. If you ask state ethicists, or if you even ask State Senator Warren Hardy, who was himself invited on this cruise, Hardy said, I didn't go because it didn't seem right. And there is now a discrepancy as to whether they were invited before the session or during the session. Now, Perkins had said to my newspaper that he was invited during the session. Raggio has said to another publication that the invitation came before the session. So somebody isn't being completely honest as to the timing. And when you have Cox Communications with at least two issues that they considered near and dear to their heart during the session, the timing of that invitation is critical.
Now we have another specter raised when we brought it up on the program yesterday, which is the Hatch Act has come into question. And of course we always have to point out in this program that Jim Rogers is the owner of Sunbelt Communications, whose stations upon which this broadcast airs. How much of a problem do you think the Hatch Act is going to have?
Yeah, I wrote about this this week, and I think the Hatch Act is a big deal for Jim Rogers. First of all, to explain it briefly, somebody missed your program yesterday. The Hatch Act would prohibit him from seeking the governor's the governor's office, if he remained as chancellor of the university system, because you cannot oversee federal grant money and engage in a partisan political activity. That said, I'd have to say I don't think Rogers is going to run. And the reason I say that is my conversation with him this week seemed to indicate to me a real frustration about all of these seeming roadblocks that are coming up. His party switch, in addition to the Hatch Act, in addition to trying to bring an academic medical center to Las Vegas. The guy's busy, and what I can sense from Mr. Rogers is that unless somebody really twists his arm, he's not going to do it.
You know, he made a lot of news a few weeks ago when he basically said that Jim Gibbons, the front runner for the Republican nomination for governor, basically isn't the sharpest tool in Nevada's political shed. Do you think that statement where he said Gibbons wasn't that bright, do you think that's going to backfire on him and haunt him for quite a while?
Yeah, I'm not so sure it does. You know, the political landscape is changing. You have Harry Reid calls the president a liar, calls him a loser, calls people political hacks. You know, people tend to forget that politics can be nasty and down and dirty. And I think what Rogers was trying to say, although he didn't do it very tactfully, I think he was trying to question Jim Gibbons' commitment to education. Now, Jim Gibbons, of course, has 2 college degrees, a law degree and an undergraduate degree in mining and geology. So, I mean, this is not a dunce we're talking about here. And of course, anybody who's going to run against Rogers could manipulate that comment, just as the national Republicans have manipulated the comments Harry Reid has made.
One last quick question here, Erin. Christie was on the program a week or so ago, and she said she hasn't made up her mind yet about whether she's going to run for the Clark County Commission. If she does run for the Clark County Commission, what do you think the effect on the legislature has, at least with the Democrats?
Well, if Christie does run for the commission down here in Clark County, she would face an uphill battle. The gaming community is already circling the fences and supporting incumbent Commissioner Myrna Williams.
In a huge way.
So, not to say Christie is a shoo-in for that seat. If, in fact, she would leave the legislature, I think what you would have is you would have the loss of the most liberal voice in the lower house, arguably the most liberal person in the state legislature, and the person who really is committed to sponsoring dozens and dozens of pieces of legislation. So you'd have a real workhorse missing from the legislature, and a real liberal one at that.
Erin Neff, always a pleasure to have you on the program. We'll welcome you back soon.
Thanks, Erin.
Thanks for being here. We'll be. Oh, and you can also read Erin Neff by going to lvrj.com, or she'd prefer it if you'd actually buy the Las Vegas Review-Journal. We'll be right back.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
If it's fun, it's here at the Peppermill, the $100,000 video-themed slot celebration, with more winners each week, 100 random winners every Monday and Wednesday, and more cash prizes, $6,000 random drawings every Friday, plus chances to win up to $1,000 in free slot play on Mr. Money's Challenge. You'll have more fun with the Peppermill's video-themed slot celebration, now worth over $100,000.
The slots that rock are at the Peppermill. Where are you winning?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
Come join the fun on Saturday, August 20th at the 5th Annual Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and Scholarship Golf Tournament. It's an 18-hole four-person scramble with food and fun at the beautiful Arrow Creek Golf Club. The entry fee of $130 includes green fees, golf cart, continental breakfast, lunch, and snacks with a raffle and silent auction. All proceeds to benefit the Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and the Galena High Athletic Programs. A hole-in-one wins a 2005 Ford Mustang, compliments of Jones West Ford. It's a day of golf, food, fun, and prizes. Call 851-7454 now to reserve your spot.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by Vic Williams. He's the publisher-editor of Fairways and Greens magazine, who in the current issue, which is available everywhere, including Walmart, North and Southern Nevada, it's a great magazine about golf, you were kind of irritated at the lack of community support for the Reno Tahoe Open. Would you explain for folks who haven't read the article what your basic point was?
Well, we should explain what the Reno Tahoe Open is, perhaps.
What?
It's a major PGA stop in Reno that is coming to town next week, and it might be on its last legs.
That's right. I'm glad you said major, because to me and to true golf fans, aficionados, it is a major event for this region. My column in Fairways and Greens, I've been writing it for 8 years now, and it's my bully pulpit. Sometimes I take on subjects.
Other people have those?
That's right. But, you know, I've written about this, well, since they started sounding the death knell for this event 5 years ago or so. This is and that was only its second year. I mean, it started in 1999. And to me, for Reno to lose this event, as I say in the column, I would feel personally ashamed, not because it would be just, you know, a hellacious thing to lose the event, but because I love Reno as a community. That's why I would feel ashamed. You feel ashamed for something you love.
Okay, but how many people are drawn to this tournament?
Well, that's the problem. I think originally the thought was to bring people from out of the area to this event, and that's okay, but it really needs a groundswell community support, not only on site, but just for the entire week. Make it an event that's more like Hot August Nights. There's a nighttime complement to it. There's things going on tied to the event. Geographically, it's a bit of a problem. Montreux, even though it's one of the best courses they play all year, in my opinion, it's out there a ways. The community is growing that way, but for somebody who lives in Spanish Springs or various communities, they might not want to go that far. My thought is, hey, let's find a sponsor locally. It would take maybe $1 million. That's not a lot of money in the big scheme to keep the event here. Hope for its own week. Right now, it's what they call an encumbered event. There's a bigger event. it's opposite of in Ohio.
So and the biggest players go to that event?
The biggest players, the top 70 or so, go to that event. But that said, we still get some great players. I mean, these guys are truly the cream of the crop.
But Vic, to a non-golfer, when a tournament doesn't have Greg Norman or Tiger Woods, it just doesn't. It lacks oomph.
Right.
And the thing about the Reno Tahoe Open is that most of the original sponsors have pulled out. They see that this is not a good return on their marketing and advertising dollar. So why should they support this when it really does little for them?
Well, I think it's just a matter. I know it's been several years now, but it's a matter of patience. I think this event has the potential to be very big on several levels for this community, and one of them is to raise money for charities. I mean, the PGA Tour is run by volunteers.
That's one thing that people forget, that there's a lot of money that went to charities because of this event that would not have gone with them. But
correct.
It brings back a point, is Reno a sports community? Now, we've seen many football teams, baseball, soccer teams try to come to Reno, make a go of it, and they have all failed. And now it looks like this Reno Tahoe Open is on its, might be climbing into the coffin too. Saying that, we also have on the board now a plan to bring a AAA baseball team to Reno and build a multi-million-dollar baseball stadium. Because of Reno's history of non-support of major sporting events, do you think that the AAA baseball team is going to make it in this town?
To me, that's more of a matter of population. I think the population may be to the point now where it can handle a AAA team.
But there's enough population to handle the golf tournament, and it's on its last legs. So
I think it's on its last legs for several reasons. One, the media kind of pushed it that way when they heard, well, this tournament's not finding a sponsor. This tournament doesn't have Tiger Woods. Tiger only plays
20.
Yeah, maybe 20 events a year. This year we've got, I think David Duval's going to be there. Yeah, he's probably not going to make the cut, but he's a well-known golfer. Anybody who's followed the game for the past 5, 6, 7 years will know a lot of these players. One year there were 10 major winners in Reno. This year there'll be 6 major winners at least in Reno.
Now, Vic, it looks to me like the RTO is in a catch-22 situation. It can't get a major sponsor because it has no TV.
Right.
But it can't get TV because it has no major sponsor. It goes round and round. How do you stop that?
Well, for one thing, I think the PGA Tour itself, which has been footing the bill, underwriting this event the entire time, really needs to work more closely with Reno and show what we've got here as a community. It's from what I hear from Jim Klein, who does a great job organizing this event, running the event. The PGA Tour has really never brought people to Reno on site, potential sponsors, to see what we've got in the entire area, not just the golf course, not just Lake Tahoe, but what we have here is just an incredible place to live and an incredible place to play golf, to invest in, as a business.
And that's, I'm afraid that's where we've got to leave it. We'll find out how this one goes, and maybe your prayers will be answered and a major sponsor will show up. Vic
Thanks
Williams,
a lot. I appreciate
thanks so much for being here. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping. During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by Alfredo Alonso with Lionel, Sawyer, and Collins, Marlene Lockard with Capital Strategies, and Larry Matheis, who's the Executive Director of the State Medical Association. Alfredo, you wanted to continue the conversation here about the Reno Tahoe Open.
I actually I think it's a great event. I think the problem with it is not the event or the sponsors. It's the lack of support from the community, and the lack of sponsors is just, I think, subject to the fact that it's on a bad weekend. It's going head-to-head against a major tournament elsewhere in Ohio. I think until that date's changed and they can actually focus on this tournament, no one's going to care. And I'm sorry, you can't build something in that type of environment. I think Ray said when you've got people that are not golfers or are lukewarm towards the sport, how do you get them to go to these things? Draws. And if you don't have a draw, you simply don't have the people. I think if they change that, the PGA will have a great event.
You know, I think one of the key things here that wasn't discussed there is that the PGA is currently discussing cutting the number of events they have. They have 48 right now, and they think it's too many. And if any event gets cut, it's going to be the Reno Open, it's going to be the Tucson Open. So we may not have a debate anymore.
Which
about
is
this.
unfortunate, of course. Yeah. And unfortunately for this community, I think this event again never really had a chance because of the way it was set up. I think in a different circumstance, had they not gone head to head with something, I think they would have been very successful.
Okay, let's change the subject. Marlene, I want to ask you. You support Dina Titus for governor. It's come up now that the mayor of Henderson, Mr. Gibson, is also jumping into the race. How does this? Now it's a three-horse race. How does this change the dynamics with the Henderson mayor jumping in?
For Dina, it does not change the dynamics. She announced early she's running regardless of anyone else. In fact, she welcomes others to get into the race. She's anxious for them to make up their minds one way or another. They seem to have a little trouble making a final decision whether or not they're going to get in. If they're in, she's ready. She's ready to debate, and she's ready to go head-to-head on the issues.
Why no comment from Senator Titus on Richard Perkins' Baltic cruise? I was surprised that she was called to ask for a comment on that, and she declined.
Well, it's something that's self-evident, and I think Mr. Perkins' comments were all the comment that was needed on that story.
Could you elaborate? What do you mean by that?
Well, I think most readers can read that story and draw their own conclusions.
Okay, Larry.
The worst possible thought that I have about the nascent gubernatorial campaign is we may have already hit the high point. That anytime you've got a competitive race, and basically both parties are going to have competitive races, you still have to lean with the front runners, and the front runners are the ones who are taking the body blows right now. Jim Gibbons is taking the body blows because he's clearly a front runner for the Republican nomination. Rich Perkins is taking it because he's the front runner for the Democratic nomination.
No, he is not the front runner.
Well, I think,
look at the polls, look at the numbers. He is not the front runner.
Well, as I said, when there's competitive races, there is a tendency to want to go negative. And it's irresistible, and so we're seeing it, and I think that every one of the candidates is going to be engaging both in negative attacks on their opponents, and they're going to be receiving them back. What we've done that I think is not wise is we've started these campaigns a year before people have to file. This horse race is so long. A number of the horses aren't going to make it to the starting gate. And I think you've seen it with the Rogers candidacy, moving from the Republican to the Independent, and maybe out all.
Okay, can I just say something right here? Look, at 1 minute, the question by Ray, why did Dina not respond on this negative story to Perkins? And then Larry jumps in and says, look at how negative it's been. Dina doesn't respond, but
during the entire
wrap it up like
you're hammering the entire.
Hang on a second. What's unfortunate is that their advisors are fighting. So just imagine how the race itself is going to be. At the end of the day, I think you've got some very intelligent people running for office. Do you tend to get negative across the board? I think you do.
I think that's an important statement right there.
I think you have a very competitive race both on the Democrat and Republican side. And if Mr. Rogers ends up jumping in, I think that's going to be. We're talking nationally interesting. I mean, I think for us junkies, it's going to be wonderful. For the public, I feel sorry for all of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. There are 7 candidates right now that are on the table and playing. Every one of them could make a very good governor. Unfortunately, between now and then, every one of them is going to have to try to make their own campaign stand out, and the campaigns or the candidacies of others look negative. And it's just part of the process. The permanent campaign cycle leads to that, and so we have to expect that. And then I think what we do increasingly is we discount that, and we go back to looking at the person and what the person has done and what the person really says about what they will do, and look at their character. So I think we're at the early stage when most of the outrageous things are said.
Okay, let me ask you one by one. At the end of the day, is there going to be more time spent on issues than on the negative campaigning?
I hope so, but I doubt it.
Our campaign plan is going to be issue-oriented.
Campaigns are not about governing. Campaigns about being elected.
This is going to be a smackdown, drag-out affair. This is going to be world wrestling all over.
Boy, and I love having this show. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout. Thanks.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Here at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, water resources come from fresh, clean groundwater, approved by state permits. The water is pumped from wells to million-gallon storage tanks and then distributed to TRI companies. Another amenity is our investment in a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. This disposal system converts waste to clean water for industrial applications. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevada.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. For a quick bite and the best sandwiches in town, it's the Whistle Stop Deli. And for the best appetizers and menu selections and a large variety of cocktails, beers, and martinis, it's Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
Don't forget, you can now watch Nevada Newsmakers online at nevadanewsmakers.com.
Coming up next week, we'll have Steve Mashney. He's a former Sparks Tribune reporter, now living in the Gaza Strip.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.